adventure maidens. I'm hype. I'm ready. I'm doing a dance. Getting that energy flowing. You ready to play some motherfucking D&D? I surely am. Hello, my name is Celeste Konowich, and I'm gonna be your dungeon master.
I'm Brittany Quintero playing Arnadale Bill.
You weren't ready for that.
Warlock.
I see that potato.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Katie. I'm going to be playing Farah Valen, the Tiefling Sorceress.
I'm Nassim, and I'm playing your human monk, Saya Noor.
Sorry, Paul was trying to grab something.
I said intros so fast. Usually I banter for longer, but this time I was like, no,
it's
not
true.
today. Not today.
Paul happened to just come over at like just the wrong time. All right, anyway, I am Sage, and today I will be your classy cleric, Cara Brynhilde.
Ooh, classy. Yeah, I just really wanted to get the drop on everybody with some quick intros. Yeah, because, you know, I'm really excited to play some D&D. I feel like we haven't played in forever, because time is weird now. So, yes, I'm very excited. But before we can do anything new, yeah, I guess we have to talk about what happened last time. So let's go around and talk about what happened on Nassim's birthday. Oh, also, we have to say happy birthday to Katie, whose birthday was in the interim before. So after the fact, happy birthday!
Happy birthday after the fact!
We love you!
But since your birthday has already passed, I will not be extending the deal where I do not kill your character tonight. So I'm sorry, that's a day of deal only. But, I mean, you all did good last time. Tell me about it. Tell me about what happened last time on Venture Maidens.
Ooh, just in the brink of time, we were escaping the giant Titan's Keep right before some massive, scary storms were coming our way. Mm-hmm. And my beautiful, wondrous water deity, or, what was that creature called? I wrote it down. Marid, right?
Yes.
Marid. I finally learned a lot about her. Her name is Persona, and she, blooped us out of there. We bamfed out of there. We connected to some giant pitcher in this cape, and she took us into a water plane and gave us all, or I could breathe underwater. Everyone else had to figure their shit out.
She cast water breathing on them.
She did. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Otherwise we would have been dead very quickly.
Very fast.
Well, then she's a G, and she covered everyone. And we swam around a bit, or she called. Oh no, she told us to attract this bigger creature that could help us leave the water plane. But first we had to find a snack for it. And we found this giant. Yeah, we went on a snack hunt and found this real scary monster, octopus squid thing. Someone else knows what it's called.
The Murkoth.
Morkoth.
Mm-hmm.
Murkoth. The Murkoth. Which is these weird octopus creature, and it had these little arms for scavenging, and it basically just built a shell around itself of shit that it liked, of random pieces of house or furniture or little magic items, and apparently a jewel encrusted chamber pot. And so we slayed this beast, some of us by punching it repeatedly in the eyeball, and then severing its beak from its body until it was no more. And then she took it and she shook it in the water, getting all the blood and guts out, until finally a dragon turtle came, and it was like, hello, friend. Yes. She's like, oh yeah, here's a snack. And the dragon turtle is able to give us a ride to the mortal plane, hopefully the correct time, but in a place where we do not know where we are, as we got spat out of the water of an oasis onto sand in the middle of a desert.
Yay! That's pretty good. And that's where we're picking up. So all of you had just been thrown out of the elemental plane of water by this dragon turtle who could move so fast. Apparently, he was able to transcend planes or time. You're not exactly sure, but your water elemental, the Merid that you now know lives inside you, had said, no, it's fine. This is the best way. And following that advice, with a big, like, burst of spray, you all fly back into the material plane, emerging from this crystal blue oasis, just surrounded on all sides by sand, as far as the eye can see. That sand and the blue skies, and there you are, just on this shore, covered in sand. You're wet and covered in sand.
Sand is everywhere.
It's everywhere.
So did he spit us out, or does he have like a blowhole that that wouldn't work in the plane of water?
Honestly, you're not really sure. It's like, your vision had gone black because you were all sitting inside this creature's mouth, like, when this had happened. And there was this sudden, like, shift and movement of water, and then it wasn't dark anymore. And it was bright sun and flying through the air. If you do look back at that oasis behind you, it's like, I mean, there's no way a dragon turtle could fit in there. So it's like a lake. Yeah, and that beast was gigantic, titanic, some might say.
Gargantuan.
Yeah. So, it's warm where you are now. As you look at the sand around you, you do see that it is like that kind of coppery red mix that you've gotten very familiar to seeing passing through the Kronos Desert. So maybe it's the same place. What are you all doing?
Kara is rolling around on the ground in glee. Just like, oh god, I'm so happy to be on dry land.
Yeah, I mean, y'all spent at least 8 hours in the elemental plane of water. Does it feel any different being back in not an endless ocean?
So pruny right now.
So she feels really heavy because after being like in the weightlessness of water, and then all of a sudden like you feel the full weight of your body again, and you're like, oh god, what the fuck?
Kara, you should probably put that armor back on now that we're in this shithole again.
Yeah, you're right. And she'll open her bag of holding, and she like shakes out an eel and a lot of water and a starfish. And
the eel's like, splashes back into the water.
Could I put my piss pot in the bag of holding, please?
Oh, yeah, sure. Here you go.
So cool. Best souvenir.
Yeah. I mean, maybe not so luckily, but it's like high noon at this point. So the sun is beating down with its full furious heat at this point. So you feel that your clothes are like already starting to dry. But also, your skin is starting to finally feel the effects of this, and it's about to be real unpleasant in a few minutes here.
Do we still have our ice chip elemental things in our body?
You do.
Thank God.
Sick.
So that you can still feel the heat is going to be super uncomfortable,
right,
but you won't be taking levels of exhaustion from it.
Cool.
So I think we gotta try to find, hopefully if we're in the right time, our party. So, I mean, my one idea that I have is like a distance spell, a guiding bolt. I don't know what that's going to attract if I shoot that buddy up into the air, but I don't really know where else we can look for them, and I don't really feel comfortable leaving the water source. Wait, Sai, you can make water, right?
Yeah, I can make water. We do have a water source here, so I don't think I'll have any trouble at least cleaning it. Is there also other things like trees and stuff here?
So around this oasis, you can see, it's like the size of a large lake. So there's sort of some like kind of natural rocky like coves over it. The water itself doesn't look too deep. I mean, you think you could pretty comfortably wade in for a while before it drops off into deeper area. And again, the water's like this beautiful, gorgeous see-through blue. No pollution or plant life of any kind. There are a few scraggly like cactuses and trees around here. Trees is a little bit generous. You really haven't seen any proper trees since you've entered the Kronos Desert. So there's not much in the way of cover or anything. It's just sort of this bam, like water in the middle of this sand.
What I wanted to do was get high and like up in the air.
Okay.
And
okay, erroneous.
It's a different campaign. Get up in the air and just look at the clouds and see if there's any storms coming our way again, if we're going to expect other lightning or shimmer things, if there's something like that nearby.
Sure. Yeah. So you want to use your wings and just fly up, take a little look-see?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, can we see mountains around? Because we know we were supposed to be headed towards the Veil, which is in the Teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Can we do other mountains?
You do not see any mountains. All you see is, but it also, you feel like might be a symptom of the day because it's so hot. The heat shimmers all around you. So it's like, you think it's hard to see more than a couple miles away just with the massive, it's like in cartoons when it's like those waves of heat just roiling off through the air. So maybe when it gets cooler, or if Saye can maybe see something.
Cool.
You just fly up into the air.
Shoo! I whisper my little Sylvan phrase to it, and I go, "You're my butterfly, sugar baby."
Arnadel speaks herself and shakes her head at you.
The words of power.
And I soar.
Yes! So you fly the hell up into the sky, and looking all around you, you immediately do feel better the higher up you go, just like since the sand is just reflecting all of this heat off of you. Being up above that initial wave is way more comfortable. So yeah, you're looking up at the sky. Honestly, there's not a single cloud in like any direction that you can see. So it doesn't look like any storms are approaching. So maybe you're far away from the electric storms. Maybe they've passed, or maybe you're in a different time. But there are no storms here now. And why don't you go ahead and make me a perception check as well?
Oh, you got it. 11.
Okay. So you're looking out. You're like, nope, no mountains. I don't see nothing. It just looks like sand from all around you. Why don't those of you on the ground, so Kara, if you're kind of like looking out, looking for these mountains, go ahead and make me a perception check. Both Katie and the chat demand I give inspiration to Saye for that, so I think that's pretty good. Saye, you can take inspiration for your sweet baby angel words.
Thanks, everyone.
It was so good.
I only got a 12.
Okay.
Are we all doing this or just Kara?
If you feel like you'd be looking around.
Sure. That's good. 22.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. So Farah, you're kind of, you just start looking around because really there's nothing much else to do going on out here. And towards like one of these, shimmering directions that you see off, you kind of glint and you see that there's something like gold and shiny that like cuts sort of through this wall of the mirage. And as you're looking at it, it looks like a little sail, like you might see like on a very small sailboat that's sort of gliding closer towards you, like propelling itself across the sands in your direction.
As a golden sparkly magpie, I've picked this out and I'm like, Saye, over there to your, I don't know, 8 o'clock, whatever it is. And I'm going to be like, what is that? And try to like get her to look from her vantage point.
Yeah, sure. So, and I think with Farah being like 8 o'clock, and you looking at this thing now, you're like, oh, okay. So it looks like if somebody had a surfboard that they built like a little sail on top of, and it's just this whitish gold embroidered sail across it. And on it, there appears to be some kind of like something metallic. From this distance, you're having a hard time picking out, but it's just kind of squat and like box shaped. And this thing is seemingly just propelling itself across the sands. You're not really sure how, but it's coming right towards you all in a very clear beeline for the oasis.
Can I tell like how many hundreds of feet, or like maybe a mile or two?
Yeah, looking at it, you're like maybe a half mile away. It's sort of hard to tell in like the distances, but it's moving fast.
Yeah. I'm gonna zip back down and just say it's coming right towards us. Someone is like sand surfing on that thing. It doesn't look more like it could hold more than one person, or it's large.
Right. Yeah, no, one at most.
Okay, yeah. Someone is sand surfing straight towards us. Fucking get ready or hide.
I look at the tiny ass tree and I'm like, I guess I'm ready.
It's like one
Squat in the
Joshua
bush.
tree, just like. Okay.
We'll just stand at the ready, I guess.
Sure. Anyone else doing anything special before this while this thing is just coming towards you?
Kara is she's just like figuring it probably doesn't make sense to travel by day, and while we're by water and hanging out, we might as well. So she just starts pitching a tent.
Chill.
Practical as fuck.
All right. So at the rate this thing is moving, you all kind of standing around ready or so, and in like a couple minutes, you begin to see this thing a lot more clearly as it's coming towards you. It's pretty much what you saw. It looks like, yeah, like a tiny like sailboat. Or more like a canoe that has like a single sail in it. And as you look at this like fabric, it's very strange. You're almost not sure if it's actually like made of material. It kind of shimmers with these like goldish lights in it, and it's blowing as if there was a strong wind propelling it further. And this creature that's sitting on this sail was like, you can see how you mistook it for like a little box or something. It seems to be like a little bipedal robot is the best way you can describe it. It's got this big like cube body and arms that are like jutted both at its sides and kind of squatting down on two legs. It doesn't have like a head. It just has this kind of cube body. And so it like sits on the edge of this thing, and like in a very cool move, the this board ship kind of does like one of those swervy things and like throws up sand all over all of you, like Bad Kid Motorcycle. And in one move, like the sail drops away, and this thing stands up from the edge of the board, and it stands at a height of maybe 3.5 feet. As it strides over towards you with these sort of robotic movements. And you see like this little screen opens up, these two doors in the cube here. And inside of this thing is like a floating ball of just some kind of energy. And you hear, so, do you have a permit to be using this oasis?
I'm sorry, we weren't aware that this oasis belonged to anyone.
Well, of course it does. You need a permit if you're gonna travel between the planes using the oasis. So let me see your papers.
We just got spat out of a dragon turtle's mouth.
Yeah, likely story. Okay. And he goes and like rustles around inside its box. Again, this thing is very small and it doesn't have a head, so you're not really sure where the voice is coming from. And it pulls out a notepad and kind of flips a couple pages over, and then a little quill. All right, what are your names? Come on, what are your names? I don't have all day.
Sayanor.
All right, Sayanor. Okay. All right, yeah.
Arnadelathil.
Arnadelathil. All right, okay.
I guess we're telling the truth then. Fair Valen.
Fair Valen. All right. Yep.
Alberta Whitemane.
Alberta
Sarah starts
Whitemane.
laughing.
Sorry, something funny?
Oh,
You think this is funny, getting rid up for illegal use of portals? You think that's a joke? Big laugh, haha.
No,
So-
Alberta's such a funny name. I just feel bad for her.
Can you tell me what's the year?
But that's okay. It's this year, and he inserts the year. That is the modern year.
Our year.
Yeah, he says your year.
Dope. Thank you.
Why? You drunk or something? Should I add drunk loitering by portal to this list of charges here?
Buddy,
Not
we
yet.
wish.
She pulls out a flask.
What's who do you work for? Is this under the Serena? Is this what's the
What's a
Who
Sarina?
are we being reported to?
Yeah, that's what I would like to know.
Oh, I'm head of security for the Bazaar, which is about to be coming through here. So, it's my job to make sure there aren't any loiterers around. And, well, here we go. Lo and behold, loiterers. All right. Now
is there
listen.
any way that we could get a permit? Because we really had no idea.
Well, okay, you tell me your story one more time, and maybe there's something I can do for you. Maybe we can get you permitted. Maybe we can make this thing all go away. Let's go over the details one more time. What are you doing here out by our oasis?
Well, it's really just a misunderstanding. This desert is dangerous. It separates people. We got separated from our party moving through the desert, and we just figured this is the safest place to wait for them.
So there are more of yous just hanging out somewhere.
Yeah, we don't know
We're
where.
passing through. We just needed to take a moment.
We're trying to get to the Veil.
Ugh, Veil,
We're not loitering by any means, I promise. We're trying to move forward.
All right, okay. Well, you don't seem particularly nefarious. I believe that you had no idea what you were doing. So listen here. The Bazaar's going to be here in and he looks at his wrist, and you see that there are a bunch of dials and whirring things that are strapped together to make this contraption. He looks, well, just a few minutes now. So I'll stay with you all. The Bazaar will get here. We'll get on board. We'll get you the permits. We'll get this all cleared up, and then you can be on your ways. How's that sound?
Sounds like a great time. Love bureaucracy.
All right. Well, have a seat. Don't make any sudden movements. And should be along soon.
Cool. Sick ride, by the way.
Thanks. Built it myself.
Oh.
Is that a special kind of cloth you're using to sail? Are you generating the wind?
Oh, yeah, that's not a cloth. That's just energy. Cloth would just tear right up. Have you ever been in this desert? It's awful.
No.
First time.
What's your
My name is Bebop.
name?
Bebop Jax.
Do you know Rocksteady?
Rocksteady? No, I can't say I do.
No. I think you two
don't
might
want
get
for
along.
I'm sorry, I don't get the reference. All right, well, hey, there should be along soon. And he points. He again doesn't have a face. It's a box with a light in it. So the box kind of turns around towards one direction of the open desert. And there, far off in the distance, you see dust and sand starts to billow up at an alarming sort of mushroom cloud rate as something very, very large begins to move across the desert. And he's like, only a matter of time now. If you have some bandanas, I'd get them out. Can get dirty.
Just
Put
wrap
my
my scarf
beekeeper hat
around.
on.
Yeah, just yep. And you watch as this giant rock creature is really the only way you can describe it, is like moving through the sands as if it was burrowing at like this top speed. This thing is like this rolling mass of earth and rock, and you do see like in the center of its face there are two kind of red eyes that sort of move around as this thing just propels forward. You're not even sure exactly how. And this thing, again, is at least as big as the dragon turtle was. So as it comes into view, just this horrible thing is charging towards you. And you see, after a while of taking in this thing, trailing behind it is like this very large sheet of like stone and metal. It's hard to tell what it is, but built on top of this are a series of leaning clustered buildings that have all been grouped together in these tall stacks and masses. So this giant rock creature is pulling an entire town behind it. It's just attached with these very thick cables to the back of this rock monster. And you're taking all this in, and like you lose sight of it as dust and clouds and everything kick up. But when your vision does finally clear, this creature has stopped and pretty much just looks like a mountain frozen in place here, trailing this little town behind it. And you hear like a horn call, and then as this new village has opened up in front of you, people start descending from it. They start running towards the oasis here, all of them like bearing pots and jugs and like jars, and these people are dressed in incredible array of colors and fabrics, and even like the races of these people, you're like, I don't think I've seen some of these creatures. We're not talking like elves and orcs and stuff. We're talking like things that have tentacles growing out of their face, and creatures that are yellow and tall and gangly and strange, or have a lot of limbs, or just running out towards the oasis. And they all push past you, collecting their water, going about their business. And Bebop turns to all of you. He's like, all right, well, you got all your stuff. We got to head to my office.
Yeah. I start helping put the tent away.
Yeah.
Can I make a knowledge? What? Arcana?
Where do you even want to start?
Nature?
On what specifically?
The mountain, the moving mountain.
Sure. Why don't you go ahead
and
and...
what the fuck check?
Yeah, give me
what the fuck check, please.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and give me a nature check.
Okay. Oh, what? 6.
I'll go ahead and say you can roll with advantage on this check.
Oh, okay. That's nice. 19.
So you're like looking at it, you're like, what could that possibly be? And then, you sort of think to like your elemental status and things like that. And you're like, oh, that's a giant earth elemental. You have never seen one this big, but a creature that can move through the earth like that so quickly. And now just, this clustered rock thing, that's what it be like. But also, like, why would it have a town strapped to it? That's all very strange.
Yeah. Are they... I hope they're not taking advantage of this rock deity, elemental.
Are you saying that out loud?
Yeah, kind of under my breath. I'm a little suspicious of what's happening here. What is this bazaar? Where are they moving?
Moving wherever the rock takes us. We call it the rock.
Is the town attached to it?
Yeah.
Permanently?
Well, yeah. We figure it's the best way to travel around. I mean, it goes wherever it wants to go. There's no stopping it. There's no talking to it. It just kind of wanders around through the desert, so do we.
Okay. Well, I've just never seen anything like it before.
Yeah, neither have I. It's weird, right?
You work there.
No, I mean,
You
I've
work-
seen this one before, but I don't know. We just found it one day and figured, hey, why the hell not?
Innovation
okay.
Yeah,
takes
hooked
all
on and
forms.
there you go. Traveling Bazaar. Woo. All right, don't get lost now. And people are like pushing past you to get to the well, and people are giving you kind of looks, but not, you're certainly not the weirdest people of the bunch here. And he continues to lead you now, stepping onto this sheet that forms up the city. And it looks like a beaten copper sheet that has just like cobblestones built on top of it. And on top of those cobblestones are these like tiny stacked houses. So when you step onto it, it feels very much like those very like tight markets you might find in other countries. So open air, like lots of stalls all around you, and like doors, people moving through, things hanging above you, like lanterns that nothing's lit right now, but as you step onto it, it's almost claustrophobic how tight and compact everything is. And you begin to wind through these streets that are and everything is made of just found materials. It appears like there's wood and brick and metal just stacked on top of each other to form these different houses. And you see like dozens and dozens of different signs in different languages. Some of them are hanging over these doors. Some of them are just painted over the doors. Some of them are like illusions that are spinning and like making bright colors and lights around these places. And if you don't say anything, Bebop will just keep on leading you through this weird little labyrinth of streets.
Yeah, I'm down to follow him. Cool guy.
Yeah.
Sai is just taking notes of all the really cool shops you might want to check out later.
Yeah. If you want it, it's probably here. If you can't like read the languages it's in, you see pictures of everything that's like painted on the side. So it's like advertisements have been plastered and sprayed on every corner of this place. Mm-hmm.
Mm. No, go ahead.
I'm just like who am I closest to?
You're all pretty tightly clustered. I mean, the streets are very narrow, so you're all kind of moving in a group, following Bebop through these streets.
I'm gonna like reach out and just have like in a moment of an epiphany and be like, who else speaks primordial?
I do.
We're on a big elemental. We speak its language. We could totally hitch a ride on this dude and get to our destination like real quick, fast, and in a hurry, and probably safely.
Yeah, but what about our friends? What about the people we came here with? Do you think they're just headed there anyway?
They were our escorts.
Ooh, burn.
Were they not? That was not a burn. That was totally logical. That was the logical, rational thought process. Like they were accompanying us to get us safely from point A to point B. We got separated. Mission is get to point B, and this elemental goes where it pleases. No, meaning that the people who are living here do not give a flying fuck where they end up. What if we talk to this thing and figure out a way to communicate that we need, like maybe we could very sweetly ask it to like deliver us to our destination.
I don't know if it would just give people favors like that, but I do have the ability to control and dominate elementals. I don't know if I could do something this large.
No. I think we should look at diplomacy. I speak primordial also, but I think between us, and we hatch this plan amongst all of us of figuring out a way. I'm sure, I don't know what primordial, like what do elementals even want, but maybe it would just be happy to do us a solid. Like, I don't know.
That's definitely a good backup plan.
We could definitely try it first. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I love it.
I gotta say, like, if this works, this is the fucking sickest place.
The Hot Wheels.
The desert Hot Wheels ride extravaganza, like across the goddamn desert. I'm
just
sure
be like, hey, you're on your way somewhere in a hurry anyway. Could you just make a pit stop?
If this happens, we're hiring a fucking bard. We're making this the thing that people talk about.
Oh yeah,
They
yeah.
will sing songs.
But like, two of us speak primordial. We could talk to this thing. Like, we should talk to this thing.
I've been told I have good energy, so that's what I'll bring to this
And
interaction.
we have a dwarf that is very, very knowledgeable about rocks. And
It's true.
stones. That's something to have in common.
And while you all are kind of having this conversation through the streets, suddenly Bebop just stops walking, and you're in front of this. It's a perfect cube of a building, which stands out amidst all the other kind of chaos hodgepodge. But this one is perfectly nice and well maintained, and has like rows and rows of like iron bars surrounding it. And he's like, "All right, we're here. Head inside, take a seat, and we'll get your paperwork started."
Sweet. Nice pad.
Wait a second. We're about to go into an iron barred box.
Mm-hmm.
The system's never let anyone down before. I'm sure this will be fine.
Sip cocktail.
I'm looking for all the exits before I enter.
There's probably
There is
not
one.
any.
There is the entrance that is in front of you.
Don't dig it.
Shit.
Let's roll an insight check on little Mr. Cube.
Sure.
What
Yeah.
does
one
what
too.
does your light bulb face tell us?
I think as you turn towards like the light bulb, cube guy, the light suddenly goes out inside, and it just collapses. It collapses like into a box with legs just on
This
the
is
ground.
some Wizard of Oz shit. I'm telling
No.
you right now.
And you hear a voice from the other side of the door. "Hey, come inside! I don't got all day!"
Oh, it Wi-Fi'd.
It used Wi-Fi to
I'm
chat.
so fucking curious. I would go right.
In Bluetooth? I don't know. I rolled what did I say? Insight? 15.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on at all. Like, this thing wasn't giving you any. You're not even sure how it was alive. No facial expressions, no anything. I mean,
Well, it's a construct. Or, I'm sure it detect magic. I don't know.
oh yeah, it was definitely magical. I mean, a quick detect magic would tell you that it was divination magic that was keeping this thing.
Divination? Oh, that's weird. I don't know. Of course, I think it's like we're all like war torn, battle hardened. This seems sketchy as hell. Like there's no obvious exit. I don't know, but I guess.
Yeah.
I think it's just a way to keep people from dipping out when dealing with these things. I think we'll be fine.
bureaucratic.
I do my
Yeah.
classic Farah peer in with my top half of my long ass body.
Yeah,
See if I see
you're
any
like,
normal people.
Yeah, so as you look inside, you see a small carpeted like reception room. It's got a lot of chairs stacked up against walls, and you see that there is a long counter in this room, and there are sheets of paper that have numbers that are written on them, stacked neatly on this desk. And you see moving about the room, it takes you hear them first, that you hear like little beep boop whir, like little machine sounds coming from the room, and you see walking like across the carpeted floor like a little sphere. It's very small, like smaller than your head, on these like two legs, and it's got like one big eye on it, and these sort of like weird kind of horns sticking out one side, and it's like walking across the carpet, and kind of like spins around and sees you, and the eye gets like really big and then really small, and then it kind of runs off behind the desk.
Is there a bell to ring?
There is no bell. Well, you moving in?
I'm going in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see very quickly behind the desk, like kind of sitting on the floor, barely seeing over the top, is a goblin who is sitting there and wearing this like sort of patchwork, mismatched uniform of golds and silvers and bronze. And he has like a badge that sort of looks like tinfoil that's been wrapped around something on his chest. And he looks up, he's like, All right. Okay, well, we got to get you started. Here's your requisitions forms. And he clips something onto a little board and slides it across, until you each have clipboards sitting in front of you.
Beat
Wait.
in the flesh, right?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Nice to meet you face to face. All right.
Why?
I just, you looked like a
You
little
planning
cute guy.
something?
No.
No,
Are you?
this is absolutely fascinating. How are you? How did you?
What? How did I what?
You were what we were talking to outside?
Yeah.
Anil's just geeking out over like the technology that's happening.
No,
She's
again,
like,
it's a-
I need to know more about this magic.
It's a construct. It was arcane eye, magic mouth. Pretty standard. Have you been out to
Cool.
that desert? It's terrible. Like I said, it's just awful. No way
Again.
I'm going out there.
That's why we
Again,
were at the
first
Oasis.
time.
All right. Well, you fill those out. We'll get your permits ready. We should be able to clear all this up. If you would like, the bazaar should be moving on. And he looks, and he has an identical device similar to the one he was wearing before, which is this big wrist strap that just has a bunch of dials and things that are spinning. He's like, about 10 minutes or so. So if you get these finished quick, you can hop off or you can stay on. Whatever.
Cool. Are there is there like uncomfortable chairs for us to sit in?
Oh yeah,
while
they're
we fill out?
horrible. They're like
Oh, okay.
very poorly carved, mismatched wooden chairs with no seats, cushions.
Love the DMV. Just sit down and start filling mine out.
So, if you are going to stay here, you need to apply for a permit if you're going to buy anything. So.
Oh, could I get those just in case?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, me as well.
All right,
Yeah.
Okay, we got those vouchers. You work on those. I'll get the... Yeah, and he makes like a high-pitched whistling sound, and you see that another one of these small kind of robotic creatures comes out from behind the desk, and this one is shaped like a pyramid, and you see that on each side of the pyramid, it has a little face that kind of smiles and like waves shyly at you all, and he kind of throws a crumpled piece of paper at it, and he's like, go! And it scurries off.
I love him. Yeah, I mean, is there any like weird questions, or is it all just like?
Yeah, I'm wondering what the hell is on this form.
Yeah.
Explain
Yeah.
your purpose in the desert.
Yeah, so it's like your name, it's like your profession. It says it asks where you are from, and then it has a section for material. It has a section for plane. It is a section for city. So a lot of these weird subcategories. What languages do you speak is listed on there. There's a little waiver that you have to check off that, in case you are murdered, on the bazaar, we are not held responsible for that. That is personal damage, personal loss. You are not allowed to sue us for any damage or property loss that may occur while you are visiting the bazaar, that sort of thing.
Farrah reads the first sentence and checks the box.
Yeah. So,
Always check that terms of agreements box.
There's a South Park episode about that.
yeah.
There is.
I mean, if you would like to make some checks to kind of scan the fine print, you can absolutely do so.
Yeah, I would like to do that.
I'm just looking over Farah's shoulder to be like, what is she putting?
Mm-hmm.
Is that just investigation?
Yeah, investigation.
All right, 16.
Okay. So you're looking at this form and you're going through, and a lot of this is incredibly repetitive stuff. But it all seems pretty straightforward. And it's all pretty above board, actually, when you're looking at it. You do see, as you start to flip over, because the forms have a couple pages on them, there are different boxes in 30 different languages included, on the back of this form here. Some of them
you're
you're...
so nice.
Huh? Do you recognize all of them? I don't think so. Some of them just look like alien symbols, quite honestly.
This place is
Wing
really
dings.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Farrah just scans through, just signs, initials, checks, and then just speeds through it. She's done a lot of school filled out a lot of paperwork.
Yeah.
And she's just like on the desk, just slaps it down.
Yeah. And the little like robot thing comes back and hands out these waivers. They're shopping permits that are much shorter, and it said again like your name. If you intend to sell anything, you have to fill out a form. It's basically a customs form.
Sure.
For vendors. That's much faster to fill out. And you can get through this all pretty easily. And Bebop is like, well, thank you all for coming in. I know this was a little bit confusing, but I promise if you filled out your correct name and everything, you should be pretty safe here on the bazaar. So there you go. I mean,
Thanks
just
for
don't
your
do
help.
anything stupid. I guess I'm not actually allowed to say you're going to be safe. So forget I said that.
I saw that.
We're not liable for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Don't come back here. If you have a problem, don't come back here. It's not my problem anymore.
Okay.
Noted.
Well, thanks for your help. I lean over to Kara. Did you put your name?
Yeah, no, I put my name.
Okay.
Farrah's like, for somebody who really likes rules and authority, that was pretty rebellious of you.
It's pretty damn rebellious, signing your.
Just because you like rules doesn't mean you always have to follow them, and you don't always have to give that tone of voice when you're telling rules.
Yeah, so you all gonna be sticking around, I guess, since you signed the waivers. Do you need a place to start? I don't have a map or anything, but if you're looking for something, I can probably point you in the right direction.
I think
Where would we
Maybe
get a good view of the mountain that is carrying you along?
Outside.
Just
Where's
anywhere?
The nearest.
I'm so
tavern?
confused about what this town looks like in my head.
Tavern.
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 Yeah.
Booze.
So
Booze.
so to clarify, it'd be like, imagine there's this.
Arnadell nudges Kara like hard in the elbow.
So for what this town looks like, imagine there's like this giant boulder, and like strapped onto it with like tied with it to like two ropes on its feet is like a dish that it's dragging around. And like built up on the dish are these buildings and like everything. So you're not actually on top of the earth elemental, you're on the city that's attached to it.
Right.
Dragging
Okay.
behind it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Like a yoke, like an ox pulling a.
Yeah. So you are the cart behind the ox. Right now. It's just
Ooh.
dragging it around as
Is it with chains?
But it's like a serving dish carrying a city bazaar.
Yeah.
we're on a dish.
What's
we're snacks.
the connecting
Yeah, they're
thing?
like, you haven't seen them up close. They look like ropes or chains or something. Like two of these things that are just like tied somehow to the elemental.
That is absolutely fascinating. I
Yeah.
need to know
This is
what it is.
This is bonkers. This whole situation is
Yeah.
bonkers. Clearly. And yeah, when you all start talking about a bar, he's like, oh, well, there's really only one bar in town. That's Sam's Club. So
Sweet. Love that
The
place.
Walmart of Costco.
Great value, did you say?
I guess.
Okay.
Is it near like an inn of some sort? Do you imagine like this thing? Does it ever stop? Do you guys? It did just stop. It stopped for us. Never mind.
Yeah, it stops sometimes. Sometimes it, we can predict when it's going to stop. It stops here every year or so in this exact spot. But otherwise it just kind of wanders. Just kind of wanders around,
Is this even-
somewhat
do
of a
we-
course, somewhat not?
I guess.
Do we have any idea if we're even going in the right direction of where we need to go on this thing?
We should. He doesn't know where we're going.
Okay. He's like, I don't know where you're going. I don't know where we are. We're the only place that matters. At the bazaar.
Didn't we tell him we were trying to go to the Vale?
Yeah,
Let's go
we
to the
did.
tavern and reconvene. I would like to find out where a cartographer is and maybe come up with a game plan because I
Yeah.
bet
And
maybe we
when
can
it
figure out where we're
becomes-
at.
When it becomes night, we can look at the stars. Figure it out.
Yes, but we still need a point of relativity.
It'll be fine. We'll be fine once we have booze.
Yeah. Bebop's just like, all right, bye.
Bye. Nice meeting you.
Close
gonna
the
miss
door.
him.
Keep the cold air in.
For sure, man.
Okay. And he, gives you like sort of a gnarled wave as you step back out onto the streets. And he also told you he's like to get to Sam's Club. You know, you go like 2 blocks down and you turn left and you turn right. Don't go into the alley with the mind flayers. They will eat your brains. Turn right again and you'll be there.
They just have a casual mind flayer alley.
Oh no, they're psychics.
Oh.
But
Like
I don't
tarot
think
reading?
I don't think any of you could handle it.
Is that a challenge?
I mean, I'm not
You
gonna
fucking
take that
challenge.
challenge.
I
Not doing
legally
it.
can't tell you how to live your life according to those forms. So
I really
Right.
like Bebop.
He's might be my favorite NPC I've met.
I do dig Bebop.
get out of here.
Uh,
Just get out of here. Yeah, so you wind through the streets of this place, and at this point, people are starting to filter back in. It seems like a lot of people ran out to, collect water at this point. So now the streets are even more tightly pressed, as all of these strange folks are just moving through the streets, like going back to their stalls. Some of these people look like maybe they're also not from here, other travelers, dressed in more common clothing like you. It seems like the general uniform of the people who live here are these brightly colored like silks and fabrics that make them like stand out, so easy to see who's selling what in this place here. So immediately people start to like scream at you as they're hawking all sorts of things from you. So you see things that are maybe food, there's like books, there's jewelry, there's like people selling, birds in the cage, there's just all kinds of stuff, fabrics, just the cacophony that starts to happen as you wind through these streets is immense.
Ooh.
Yeah.
This is the
I am
first
drawn to the
time.
fabric stores. I don't know if we're going straight to a bar. Do we? Well, yeah, I guess we do kind of need to convene
What's
and make a
the-
game plan.
What's the open carrying policy here?
Yeah.
You just based on the general chaos, you're gonna go with none?
Sick.
Sick.
I love this place. I might move here. We'll see how the mind flares work out and go from there.
Yeah.
Also, this is the first time on this game that I've ever needed to look at how much gold I have.
Yeah.
I have no idea how much gold I have. I have not keeping
It
track
is
of it
not on my
whatsoever.
character sheet. I know I have it written down
How
somewhere.
much gold do we have, Celeste?
Katie has it written down.
I have my amount written down.
I have 333 gold and 20 silver.
I feel like you all have at least 300 gold to
Yeah,
play
I
around
stopped
with.
counting because like Sisters of Sorrow
Yeah.
paid us so well. I was like, I have more gold than I'll ever need.
I stopped counting as well.
You can
I
very
have a lot actually.
comfortably say you can like 500 gold spending cash. If there is something more expensive, you could probably we
Pull
could figure it
together.
out.
Yeah.
Steal it.
All right,
I have
so
a golden piss pot.
Then you have to
What's the
face
number?
Bebop. He's the law and
Give-
order in this land.
Are you saying that we have 500 gold in our bank accounts?
Yes.
Okay.
And then you have like a flexible DM credit card.
I actually have a lot from
Very
that,
nice terms.
that Dwarven Forge one shot we have. I have a lot from that.
Oh yeah.
0 APR.
Yeah.
Financing.
your APR.
On
Your DM APR.
All right.
That's too much. That's a lot, though. I'm gonna want to buy a bunch of shit.
Hey
Then
man.
do it.
We'll
We
figure
haven't-
it
you don't
out.
wanna
We
go to
haven't had a
bookstores.
shopping episode in a
I want to go
Ever.
to fucking map
Have
stores.
we ever shopped? Oh
no.
my god.
We've never had a shopping episode. Welcome.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's never happened in any D&D game I've ever played in.
Time shopping.
Wow. Extra
Was
plater
it-
shopping.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, we haven't. It was like
No?
there was a moment in a bookstore, but we always talk about what we purchase after the fact.
mhm.
Like
Yeah.
our haul. We have a haul.
The hall. Yeah.
Unboxing.
Non-boxing, yeah.
You have to do the makeup thing.
All right. So for now, did we want to head to the to Sam's
Let's go
Club
to Sam's Club.
and figure it
We
out?
can take our
Not
drinks
sponsored.
and shop.
Sure. So yeah, so you wind through the streets. You know, your attention is being pulled in every direction by glitter and glitz and smells and noises, and it's just it's a lot. But you manage to stay the course and follow the directions. You do see at some point there's like a little alley that forms, and there is like one of those folding sandwich boards that has like the outline of like a mind flayer head with the tentacles out, and in the center there's like a crystal ball, and it says something like in weird alien language, unless any of you speak. What do they speak? Speak something weird.
Not anything I speak.
I guess Underdark would probably be one.
Sarah like stops you all, puts her hands on your shoulders, and is like, "When I'm drunk later, do not let me go over there. I swear to God."
Arnadil grabs you by the shoulders and makes like really intense eye contact because her greatest fear is mind flayers.
Yeah.
She's gonna be like,
No.
"Fuck no, I won't."
Thanks, girl. I cannot be trusted.
Yeah.
She like grabs your shoulder a little too tightly. It's like,
Damn, girl, I didn't know you were strong like that.
Oh God.
don't do it. Don't make me stop you, because I will.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sneaky. Watch me.
Oh, Curry, deep speech. There it was. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I said that.
First,
Whatever.
Curry knows the creepy language.
Sorry. Yeah, so pretty close to this weird, like, sandwich board psychic alley, there's a large sort of hut-looking building, and you see there's, like, a sign that hangs above it. It says Sam's Club, and then it's got, like, a picture of a beholder on it with kissy lips.
Ew.
Ooh.
I love it.
Gross.
Yeah.
Gross.
Do not let me kiss them.
Do not. List of
They have
things.
eyelashes.
It does
Are its
have-
lips scaly?
It does have eyelashes, and it has big old, like, red lipstick lips.
Let's go. I'm
Ugh.
excited. Yeah, I bust through those
Yeah,
doors.
You do, and they're like the old kind of the saloon doors that like go, push in. So you step inside, and this place it's definitely bigger on the inside than it was on the outside. It takes you a minute to but there's clearly some temporal magic going on here. And you see that this place, it's the lighting in here. Some of the sunlight streaks through the dirty windows. There are like oil lanterns on the table, so it's a very dim kind of atmosphere, and there are lots of these booths scattered around the edges of this room. Everything in here kind of smells like heady incense, or maybe it's tobacco smoke.
Ooh.
But the thing that dominates this room is in the center there's a large circular bar. And like set up in the very center of this, you see a beholder that is like, it's not floating, it's like resting on this pillar. So it's sort of like a sagging thing, and it's like tentacles, its eye stalks are like lazily moving about the bar. You see some of them are resting in these like pitchers that it keeps like where you have the rest of the liquor bottles. They're just kind of casually resting there, and lots of people are sitting around the bar here. And you see every once in a while the beholder will like use one of its tendrils to like pour some bottles and mix a drink and like throw it down the bar towards some of these patrons.
This is gonna ruin the rest of every beholder I ever meet after this. This is the best.
Yeah, like while Arnadil's kind of concerned, Brittany is like, "This is fucking dope."
Mind flayers, no. Beholder,
Yes.
Yes.
Like the pursuit of knowledge is shared, but also this is a drunk bartender, like washed up bartender beholder.
Oh, you see that it occasionally uses some of, its eye stalks are resting in things, and it'll like turn the spigot and use that in some of the cocktails and send it off.
Ooh, gross, but I want it. Yeah, can we find a grouping of seats together around this giant bar?
Yeah, definitely.
We did ask for a tavern.
Hell yeah, you got a tavern. Yeah, you can definitely sit down, and as you do, the beholder, It's sort of on one of those things, like when you have condiments that spin in the center of a table. So it
Mhm.
like grips the edge and kind of spins around to
A
look at
lazy
you.
Susan.
A lazy Susan, there it is. So the beholder is like sitting on a lazy Susan, and it spins around, and it smiles at you, and this like one big eye kind of blinks. And it's, hello, gorgeous. What will you be having today?
Are there any specials?
I'll take an old fashioned, babe.
We don't do old here, but we certainly do fashion. One coming up.
Oh, I love that. I love them.
I'm never
love-
leaving this.
Way
place.
better than Bebop.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rem. I'm gonna be here.
Do we all get like possessed with giggliness and be like, "What's your name, hot stuff?"
Oh, my name is Prudence, darling. What's yours?
Prudence. I'm
Prudence the
Arnadel.
Beholder.
Arnadel, I'm charmed. And the rest of you, you're just so charming, out-of-towners. From this plane, though, by the looks of you.
Oh, are we that obvious?
Just a bit. You all smell so delightful. You know what I mean?
No.
No, I don't. And I
Just a
nor
little
do
joke.
I. Do you have a nose?
Well, not well, it's sort of rude to ask, isn't it? And like the little eyeball will like slap down on your hand.
Prudence is my favorite NPC now, hands down.
This is great.
Prudence is my favorite NPC.
Come on, we've got one new fashioned. What else for the rest of you?
Oh, something strong but still fruity.
Perfect. My ideal man.
Take a mojito, Prudence.
Fantastic, dear. And for you, Curly.
A double bourbon up.
All right. Well, I'll put a little extra spice in it for you. Just give me
Curly.
one moment, darlings. I'll be right back.
Arnadel makes looks over Car Curly. Why is that okay? Can I call you Curly?
Can I call you?
I have so many feelings right now.
My feeling is jealousy that I didn't get a nickname from Prudence.
That's what Arnadel's like. Arnadel starts jumping in her seat, like still looking at Car, and is like, but like it's such a good nickname.
Curly.
Isn't the thing
Curly
about
sound.
nicknames is that you're supposed to hate them?
Oh, so that's your blessing. Dope.
Sick. Yeah, and so eventually Prudence, turns back around after mixing a bunch of drinks for other customers and you at the same time. And she throws them down the bar towards you each and's like, enjoy, my darlings. If you have any questions whatsoever about our little bazaar, I'd be happy to share the juicy details.
Thank you so much.
Arnadel's like gonna sip it. She's like, this is the best new fashion ever, by the way. I just want to know more about you. You're so cool. She's just so excited because beholders are kind of assholes most of the time. So if you meet like
really
a
are.
fabulous, lovely beholder that's serving you good ass drink. Sorry, my neighbors are shooting firecrackers.
No worries.
Quarantine does weird things.
Yeah, and Prudence is like, oh,
So look.
oh. Well, if I had tips for every person who wanted to know a little bit more about me, well, I'd be a very rich beholder now, wouldn't I? Certainly wouldn't be working here.
You make me feel so happy. Like, God,
It's
what a
all
lovely quality.
part of the job, darling. Part of the job. Drink up. Get that
Is it
happy
good?
juice in the direct line.
Is it good or is it awful?
Oh, it's
she can't
very-
be this perfect.
It's very good. Why don't you go ahead
course it
and
is.
roll a d6 for me?
6.
Okay. I don't think you noticed this, Farrah, about yourself, but everyone else, Farrah just sparkles a little bit. She just seems a little bit more sparkly.
I'm gonna use detect magic.
Yeah, the drinks are vaguely magical, like very, very small, minute. stuff.
Like
the ones that had mixes
beholder magic or like mixture magic?
like the ones that had her ice stalks in it, you see those liquids are vaguely magical.
So I juiced it.
Hmm.
But like kind
she
of
seeped
cool.
into it, and now you're sparkly when you drank it.
I love it.
I feel like this is a lovely like artistic flair on bartenderness.
Could you imagine if I used my perfume of bewitching right now? I
You'd
could
be
get laid so
attractive. With a little help from Prudence. Welcome, Manapod Studios. Welcome. Wow, thanks for all the raids tonight, everybody. Y'all are awesome. We're talking to a beholder bartender right now, so welcome.
Lovely. It's absolutely divine.
Just divine, darling. Yeah, so you all have your drinks. They're all delightful. You all are feeling and looking sparkly. So what's the game plan?
I want to know from Prudence what the hot spots are. Where do we gotta hit up?
Well, basically everywhere you go in the bazaar is hot. Especially, if you bring the party. But anything in particular you're looking for?
Ardell looks at the rest of the group and can see that everybody's kind of more interested in what's ever happened. She's like, I'll wait till everybody else asks.
I like magic items and sparkly things, so.
Well, you can certainly find plenty of those around here, dear. The only problem is telling what's actually gold and then what's coated in gold. Everything sort of has a veneer. You just have to do a little extra itching, if you know what I mean.
Sure. I'll be wary of that. Thank you, Prudence.
Probably the loudest place in town if you're looking for it. It's called Bang. It's an arms and ammunition place. That's always pretty hot.
That's funny. That was a good joke.
Oh no. It's a real spot. I can't make this up, darling. I can't. They'd laugh me off the stage.
Yeah. I think you were wanting some fabric or some fashion, Saye.
Yeah, I got really intrigued by all the colorful garb in this bazaar, and I wanted to see if I could find some fresh fashion for myself.
Talk to any traders of Lang that you see hanging out. They simply have the best in all the plains. Weird little green guys, big smiles, pointy teeth. Can't miss them. Don't let them sucker you, though.
Oh, okay. Good
Like
tip,
literally
thank you.
Or figuratively?
Sometimes both, darling. And it's not as pleasant as it sounds.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Don't like it.
What about a magical fabric store? Like something that gives you a little extra oomph in your step.
I think those guys will have what you're looking for. They usually don't, they don't keep shops around here, but you can find them in the streets.
Ooh, seedy.
For fabric?
Indeed.
Ooh.
Everything fresh comes from the stalls or the people walking around. Those of us who work in these dingy businesses, well, we sell the same old shit. Except here, it sparkles.
I noticed. Thank you.
I leave them a very fat tip.
I really hope I might put that on my business card. I might add that to my next business card.
The
Same
same
old shit, except this one sparkles.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
So good.
let's fill up our flasks and go shopping, man. This sounds
Oh yeah, I'm
exciting.
gonna fill up my cup and you'll talk about
Take this to
Yeah,
go.
I'm gonna do the same.
Farah, Kara leans over to you and kind of whispers as after we're done talking to Prudence, is like, "Hey, I'm trying to buy a gift, jewelry for someone, and I would really like if you went shopping with me because you're good at picking that stuff out. If
Oh
you'll
my
help me pick something out.
Thank you. This is the moment I've been waiting for my entire life. Is it for Gidget?
What?
And she like scratches the back of her head like kind of awkwardly and is like,
Oh my god, it's totally for Gidget. Yes,
yeah,
I will
totally
help
for
you.
Gidget.
Insight check. I got a 15.
Kara is clearly full of shit.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Farrah's like, okay, Kara, you gotta tell me who it is because I need to pick for the right person. Have I met them?
You know them.
Okay, but who is it?
You know, like our boss.
Isolde?
Wait, what?
Whoa!
What happened?
Mic drop.
Didn't you like fall in love with one of our fucking guides when we first showed up in the desert? Now it's Isolde.
Wait, hold on. What the fuck are we talking about? Ardedel's like literally like still sipping her drink. Like what?
Oh,
Hold
man,
on. Wait.
That's why I was trying to just
Yeah,
talk to
We're
Farrah. Oh my
whispering.
God.
We're whispering.
I have very good hearing. I'm an elf.
Yeah, I like Isolde.
I mean,
Oh.
she cute though.
Chat is
I mean-
lit, you guys.
Ardedel's like, well, yeah, Isolde is attractive and super cool and has had her back the whole time. Started off bitchy, but like redeemed herself. Come on now, like I get it. But
Yeah.
Wait,
She's
like-
I love a tsundere. I'm here for this. We will make this happen. We need something subtle but gorgeous. She's like royalty. It has to be good.
But she doesn't. No,
Right?
no. Isolde renounces that whole royalty thing. Kara's already royalty. Kara don't have to prove shit.
I
It's
guess
still
that's
gotta
true.
be good. I don't do less than great. We're gonna do this. Best jewelry spots, Prudence, like something very tasteful.
Oh, tasteful. Oh, I'm not sure I'm too familiar with that. Something real or something that looks real?
Oh, real. Absolutely.
Bill, come on now.
There's these, well, horrible little surf neblins a couple, blocks down. I'm not sure if their shop even has a name. Or something tacky. Dark crystal or some such. If you keep heading down this strip, you can't miss them. Like I said, mean, but they sell quality stuff.
Well, I have a way with people, and now I sparkle. So maybe we'll get them to warm up to us.
Indeed. Honey, if you get them to warm up to you, you're a miracle worker.
I mean, what are they?
Oh, they're, gnomes, I think, from under your world. Grumpy little things.
Yeah, they're gnomes that live in the Underdark.
Draugr?
Surf
Swerf
Niblin.
Niblin.
Oh.
Durgar
Okay.
are the Underdark dwarves.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Wrong footnote in my memory.
All right.
Well, yeah, let's get. I look over at you guys and I'm like,
Are we all? I just want to know: are we all a glitter right now, or do we all have
I think
different
you all
subtle
can,
effects?
You all can sparkle. Okay, you can all pick a subtle effect, except for I picked Farrah's. So what's a
That's
subtle?
okay. That's what I would have picked anyway.
A subtle cosmetic effect, like a smell or a look, or like does like a little tune play, like when you walk by. Think like minor illusion level stuff.
yeah. I mean, like, glimmering sounds dope.
It does sound pretty good.
Like,
But I'm gonna go
radiating?
with Saya's hair because it's long and fabulous anyway. Is gonna be extremely shiny.
Wow, shiniest
Just
hair.
Glares the
Shiny as
fucking
hair.
sun.
Yes, yes.
I think I want to glow like moonlight.
Ooh, soft glow of moonlight.
Luminance.
Yes, yes. Kara, do you want to smell like maple syrup? Or...
I mean now that you mention it, she just smells like a cedar forest.
Oh shit, that's good.
Shit, that's fresh.
That's fresh.
Makes her think of Aaron. She looks at you and she's like, ugh.
All right, so we're getting close to time, so I think we can probably get through maybe one of these trips, and then we'll save the rest.
My priority has absolutely shifted to jewelry shopping.
Okay.
I don't know about you guys.
I would like to take a moment. I would like to withhold mine because I will come up with something that suits Arnadelle in the meantime. So right now she's just like here for you.
Here for you.
I'm happy to accompany you, Farah, to the jewels and gems.
Well, Kara picked out something for us all. Oh my god, the spice,
Wait,
the tea.
Kara can't go by themselves.
No, I'm
Oh
going.
no, that's why she asked Farah.
Okay, so we're going. Okay, yeah.
I think y'all are squad walking to this jewelry
Yeah.
store,
Good.
from what I've heard.
Drinks in hand.
Okay.
There's like 8
Squad
mini
walking.
umbrellas.
We're all glowing and shiny as hell.
Yeah, you step
Drinks
out
in hand.
onto the streets with your drinks, looking so shiny, looking so ready. It's very Sex in the City, as all of you are like walking down the Bazaar streets.
I'm gonna want to say bye to Prudence at some point. Also, Arnold's very excited about Kara, like going gem shopping with Kara.
Wow.
Like you're gonna...
I've got stone cunning. I know how to identify real gold or just a veneer.
What she's very much hoping for is that the salesperson's gonna try to upsell like some piece of shit to you, and Arnold's gonna be like looking and she just hopes that this like situation plays out so Kara can put the salesperson in their place. Like,
yeah,
Like more of a platinum for your girl.
I'm thinking rose gold.
Yeah. So you walk looking amazing. And Prudence was true to her word. At the very like end of this row, you see like sort of a black like steel and metal plated building called the Dark Crystal, and there's no like happy signs or any of the advertisements painted on the rest of the building. It's a very plain, austere looking building amongst this like shiny, awesome bazaar.
that's how you know it's good.
All around you.
No dollar spent on marketing.
Yeah.
Speaks for
All
itself.
quality.
Yeah.
All quality.
Do you all want to step inside?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
All right.
Farrah
absolutely.
walks in confidently.
Yeah. So
Ready.
yeah, so as you do so, you step into this building, and immediately you notice how much cooler it is in here. As you look around, this whole place is made of, like, stone, and it's really captured that, like, basement level kind of feeling of cold, so it's a welcome relief from the heat of the day. You see that there are a couple, like, long counters here covered in glass, and there are different displays of jewelry and gems that have been laid out here. When you, like, take all this in and kind of look around, the head counter in front of you, hanging on the wall up above it is like a mounted head of this lizard creature, and instead of like where its eyes are, 2 like fat sapphire gems have been like shoved into the eye sockets of this thing. It's a very like sort of macabre and imposing, like, as you step in the door here. And behind this counter, set up on a very like posh velvet stool, is a dark-skinned gnome with sort of reddish eyes, and he like taps his fingers sort of menacingly on the countertop and is just looking at you all as you come in, and he doesn't say a word.
I will walk right the fuck up to him, and I'll be like, "Hello, I heard that you had some fine jewelry here. We're looking to purchase."
All of my jewelry is fine.
I can see
Whoa.
that. But we're looking for the best. We have somebody very special in mind. If you wouldn't mind yourself helping us pick something out, it needs to be tasteful.
And he takes a long moment and looks you up and down and looks at all of you and like he's like appraising you.
Mm-hmm.
Something very nice.
Think like the epitome of elegance.
And he goes and he starts looking around, and he points at a few things in the display cases. And they're all kind of like, okay.
Arnadelle starts to get like butted with excitement because she's like, oh, she looks over her car. She's like,
Yeah, not getting her interest piqued by anything, kind of just shrugs. Is like, not quite what I'm looking for. Like something, understated, but like clearly very beautiful. Like a forest in winter.
Ooh.
All right. A forest in winter. And he like, and he goes and I will go to the back and bring out some supplies, but don't take anything. I can still see you.
okay, we're good.
We'll be
Here
here.
to do business.
I'm not trying to like steal anything.
I give him my most charming smile.
And he goes in the back and is gone for a couple of moments, and you hear some clattering. And he comes back with a couple, like, they look like briefcases, basically. And he goes and he puts them on the table and opens them up, and inside they're like multi-layered displays of these like gorgeous jewelry collections in here. So why don't we all go around and describe something we think would be in this box, like something for Isolde, and then we'll pick from the 4 ideas.
Ooh.
So, who wants to start?
The one that Kara notices that she's examining is a rose gold torque that weaves into this kind of like Celtic knot shape that's very, just kind of like very dainty geometrical design.
Arnadelle sees a pearl, like the pearls are in the shape of like teardrops, so like a pure but like a high Renaissance thing where it's got like a gold chain and it's linked together with these like gold teardrop pearls, but like not gaudy, just like really like lovely craftsmanship and perfectly hand-picked pearls with a very fine and delicate gold chain.
There sees kind of a necklace that's one slab of metal that comes down to a point at the end. And from the bottom of it, it's very like dense little fragments of opal, and it sort of ombres up to scattered, so you just see the platinum at the top.
Saya sees like a sort of short chain necklace that's platinum as well, and has like little danglies going all the way around it of tiny teardrop sapphire, and there's like little platinum dripping down onto the sapphires like very subtly.
Ooh.
That's the one.
Ooh. Yeah, that sounds like the one.
I love
match
it.
your robes.
I love imagining you all having this conversation in game. Like, that's the one.
She's gonna love it.
She's gonna love it. Sweetie, that's the one.
Awesome.
Yeah. Oh my God, that one. I mean, I would like to purchase this one.
Not too enthusiastic.
Aloof.
What currency are you trying to pay in?
Mortal gold.
Gold. That will be 750 gold.
I think you can do better than that. There's nobody else in the store. And when people see this on the woman that we're going to give it to, they will definitely be asking where it came from.
These sapphires were cried from a blue dragon's tear ducts. 750 gold.
Arnadelle over expressively looks at Kara like, did they? Actually, I say that. Did they?
Jesus Christ.
What do you want? What kind of check you gonna make on that?
She believes it. Dragons are crazy fucking creatures.
Farah will look at him and be like, and a dragon will cry again when it sees that it's not in its hoard. Now help us with the price.
Make me a persuasion check.
That's gonna be a 25.
I can go to 600, but that's the lowest I can go. I actually had somebody looking at this piece just the other day. So
I look around.
someone.
Who? On this rock?
My clients like their discretion.
On this rock? We're
not
visitors,
rock.
which is probably why we're willing to buy something right now.
I named my price. Take it or leave it.
Was that a good price? Can Kara do like a little appraisal here?
And
Do you want to do a dwarven stone cutting?
We're still
Sure.
looking over at Kara like,
Yeah, she will take it. She'll pick it up very delicately and examine it very closely to her face and everything. A stone cutting. 13.
Okay. It's hard to say like when you're looking at, they're not just rocks anymore. They've been refined and set and whatever. But even with a 13, there's no doubt that the quality of these gemstones is excellent. This is a beautiful piece. And while this might it could be high, but there's so many sapphires on this thing. You're probably in the right ballpark. You don't think you're getting blind robbed.
Yeah.
they love what they do.
Yeah. There's a lot of, these are gorgeous sapphires.
Arnadal slips a 100 gold piece into Kara's pocket.
Yeah, that's Saya's favorite one. I'll give you 100 gold as well.
Yeah. We can tip the, commission, right? Like tip the salesperson.
Definitely, yeah, and accepting the gold from them too. We're like, I'll pay you back, and we'll offer up the gold to the salesperson.
Would you like it wrapped? You could tell from his tone he really wants you to say no.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
And
yes,
she
we do.
She thinks about it for a second, and she's like, "No, but just make sure you put it in a box so it can't fall out or nothing. I'll wrap it myself."
Charming. And he goes and he takes the necklace off of this like little black velvet thing with like a surprising delicacy as he does so almost reverently. He lifts it off and like gets this like pearlescent case like from behind the counter and lays it down gently and closes the box and like wipes the edges off for you and hands it off and takes your money. It's been a pleasure doing business with you.
Charmed. Farah turns around and walks out.
Yeah, she holds up her drink, which is like half empty now, and is like, "Likewise," and picks up this box.
If you ever need matching earrings or whatever, we'll be here.
Are there like business cards or like a candle holder or something that's just like casually out on the surface?
Sure, there are business cards. You know
Okay.
what? We're getting crazy.
On my
There are
way
business
out,
cards.
Arnadel just like messes them up, but like pretends like it's an accident. Like oops, fuck you, asshole.
Oh my god.
Like
on the floor.
real passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Just like fucking walks out. I'm sorry.
He like gives you like a little like.
I don't even look.
Okay.
I just walk the
Whoops.
fuck out of there.
Farah's
Whoops.
like outside fucking amped. She's like, I love haggling.
Also, Arnadel's like, I fucking hate assholes.
Yeah. Clink.
Yeah.
I'm so upset right now. That guy's such a jerk.
Yeah. So as you walk out with your prize, still looking radiant, and you know, there's this whole like bazaar in front of you to explore. Saye, you begin to feel something that you're starting to get very familiar with over the last couple days. This like kind of vibrato like rumbling in your body, which you experienced last time your water elemental tried to speak to you. And yeah, you all actually sort of feel it after Saye has that initial wave. It's just where like Saye is standing, the earth kind of rattles just a little bit. And Saye, you hear this low tone first before everybody else. Like even all the people in the street turn around as this bellow starts across the street. And it says something in primordial, so I guess Saye and Arnadel, you would understand. And it says, "Visitor, speak." And everyone in the streets is just like, oh my god, like grabs their stuff as like just the whole city rumbles, like with the massive voice that echoes.
It's coming from Saya.
It's like aimed at Saye, but it's all around, and like the voice starts to rattle and like say more, but it's like taking so long, and people start like screaming and grabbing their baskets and stuff as the whole city is shaking as these words are like just echoing across the streets. And that's where we're gonna end for today.
Wait, I have one more question. Question.
Yes.
The two of us speaking primordial, you can definitely hear accents, right?
Yes, this would have a Terran accent.
Oh, that's what I wanted to know.
Accent. Yay! Shopping episode, part 1. I promise we'll do more shopping. Wow, I don't know if I'll have a voice tomorrow after doing Prudence's voice for so long. Thank you all so much. I had a ton of fun. Thank you for all the raids, everybody, for coming. We had like 3 raids during this. You all are awesome. Thank you for sticking around. This is the Venture Maidens. This is episode 81. So if you like what we do, we have a huge back catalog for you to explore. We turn the show into a podcast. All of our episodes are up on YouTube. You can find everything at venturemaidens.com that you could ever want. But thank you so much for sticking around. I have been your dungeon master, Celeste Konowich.
I've been your very excited and judgy Rudolph Warlock Arnadel played by Brittany Quintero.
I am Katie. I've been playing Farabelen, your tiefling sorceress and haggler aficionado.
Yes.
I'm Nassim, and I played your human monk, Sayanur.
And I'm Sage, and I play Kara, your bargaining barbarian.
Ooh, hot. So good. Well, thank you all so much for sticking around. Like I said before, it'd be awesome if you could give us a follow on social media. We're basically at Venture Maidens everywhere: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Let's see. What are you doing this week? On Friday.
I'm running Dragon Age on Friday.
Yes, and we will be live streaming that on YouTube. So check that out there. And then Sunday, of course, Nassim will be back with her weekly video game stream. Are you doing Dream Daddy this week?
I would do it soon.
Okay.
We'll see if it's Dream Daddy. Maybe not. Maybe Rayman.
We have some exciting games being played. You can check out here on Sundays. Otherwise, yeah, if you want to know more, if you want to support us, we do have a Patreon. You can always get on over there. Check out all the cool goodies. Right now, we are all working together to create a Venture Maiden zine, which will be coming out biannually to celebrate and send to our Patreon donors. So that's very exciting and going to be super duper cool. So check that out. Anyone else have anything they want to shout out? Okay.
Oh
Right.
man,
No.
stay healthy, stay happy.
Yeah, man. I just had a book that went up on the DM's Guild today. It's called Mordekainen's Tome of Magic 2. So if you want to check that out, it's over 150 new wands, staves, potions for your D&D games. I wrote it with MT Black, who is just a hero of publishing in D&D. So check that out. But otherwise, thank you all so much for being here. Wow, I can't wait till next time. I'm going to have to remember how to do this Prudence voice. But until next time,
Venture away.